What's going on, guys? I'm just making sure we get everyone on here for a sec, so let's just hold up a bit and make sure we get everyone here. Make sure you let all your teams know. Make sure you get everyone on here. Carlson isn't going to join us today. We're going to have Brian will come on in a bit here. Okay. Let me just wait. I'm going to wait till a few more people get on until we get going. Just make sure everyone's here. Let me know in the comment section who's all here. Okay. So let's see. Who do we got? Come into the comment section in the group here. Let's just share that. So come on down to the comment section here. So we got, how's it going, Bridie? Hey, Susan. How's it going, Tammy? Make sure we got a few more people in here.
What's happening?
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
Good, man. How you doing, bud?
Good. Just make sure we get okay, I'm gonna turn off my share screen there. What's going on, buddy?
Not much, man. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Good, dude. Good. We got some cool stuff. We got the co-op coming in pretty quick. Traffic's rolling on the 20th to 21st.
Are we live right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We're live right now. I'm just waiting for a couple more people to jump on before we get started here.
So traffic's coming in on the 21st?
Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
20th to 21st for everyone that jumped in on the co-op. And so now this is where it's going to get fun. You know, that's finally we got something in place where we can get everyone to start rolling in some leads. You have a consistent flow of leads coming in, and having something where we have literally something that simple where it's just you click a button to get traffic and you know you're getting leads. Taking that entire part of the equation where it's like no matter what you guys do, you know you're going to be able to generate leads, which is something that's really difficult for the majority of the population out there that's trying to market online. Most people can't even get 5 to 10 leads, yet we have something simple in place where you literally click a button and can generate leads at will, depending on what your marketing budget is. So it's going to be really fun seeing that all roll out. Kale, I know, is testing funnels on his own too. I'm testing some on mine too. Which we're going to be able to roll out to the team. We're going to have some of you guys may have seen the beta update where they're just finishing up the final touches here. You can kind of see a little bit of what's been going on the whiteboard. They're planning out some stuff, getting everything rolling. And
yeah. So are you going to be up there with them for like a month?
I'm going to be up here for the next few days. I know JR and a couple other people are going to be coming up, so I'll be up here still for a few more days. But KL is up here now with Cameron. Perfect. So I just wanted to kind of touch on a couple things today. Most of you may have seen the update already where I shot a little bit of an update. It was a little bit long. It was 28 minutes or so. Just going into a couple things there. If you haven't seen that, be sure to go and check that out. So what we've done, and thank Bridie for this, she went out and made a file for us in our group there for pre-qualifying for those of you that are running traffic. So basically what we're going to be able to do is with your applications, Bridie actually put up some questions there that I've kind of gone over with her, and I added a couple in there too so that you have the questions that you want to be asking when you're pre-qualifying. Because if you're going to have myself, or you're going to have Brian, or you're going to have Eric come on and close for you guys, you want to make sure that you are pre-qualifying them, because we're not going to get on the phone with everyone. We want to make sure that you have those questions set in place so we know what they're looking to accomplish, why they're looking to do all this, how much time they have to invest, and all those different questions, so that now we know a little bit more information on them so we can go into a deeper close. Now, I kind of talked about this a little bit on the pre-qualification part, where when you guys are pre-qualifying them, you're just going to find out, like, you want to treat it as if you're just talking to someone that's like your good friend. You know what I mean? You're talking to your good friend, and you're just kind of up there. You want to be really enthusiastic, really upbeat, and you're just trying to find out more about them. And when you ask them a question and then they answer you, you want to be kind of using their answers when you start asking the other questions. Like when you get down to, say, asking them how much money they have to start out, you can go into it and be like, hey, so I know you want to be able to travel more and spend more time with your family and be able to do, whatever the things that they listed. Now, if Matthew accepts you and he shows you how to make more money so you're not living paycheck to paycheck, how to get out of your job, how to spend more time with your family, and how to travel more, how much money do you have for startup capital right now to get started today? You see what I mean? And you're using, now that's going to be different based on what their answers are. Now, so you're really listening to them, and when they're giving you answers, you're speaking them back to them so they know that they're listening, and you're just being genuinely interested in them, because honestly, it doesn't matter whether they want to travel more, whether they want to be making more money, get out of their job. We literally have the perfect solution for anyone, no matter what. So it's just taking what they want and what they're looking to achieve and positioning it in a way where what we have for them is the perfect solution for them to go out and achieve those goals. So that's going to be basically what we're going to be doing. And another thing too, and I stressed that in one of the updates too, is it's going to be, now that we have leads starting to roll in, it's going to be going and consistently broadcasting your list daily. Now, Cal did a really, really good training last Thursday where he was going over some email marketing tricks and a couple stuff like that. So if you haven't done that in the AWOL Power Players group, there's a really good hangout on that. If you guys didn't watch that, I would watch that, take notes, because 20th and 21st, that's in the next couple days here, traffic's going to start rolling in, and we need to start getting them engaged, making sure that you're getting broadcasts out every single day, because that's where the money's being made. Your money is in the list, and you need to go out and work that list, and that's going to be our biggest skill set. Now that we have lead generation pretty much out of the way, and you'll kind of see that as we start to roll the traffic, and you'll see how easy it is to generate leads now with everything that we have in place. We have a funnel in place that we know converts, and we have the highest quality traffic available for all of you guys to use. So having that part where we know how to generate leads now it's going to the next step, and it's knowing how to convert those leads into applications, and then convert those applications into sales. And really all we're trying to do there is just build the relationship with your list, right? Let them get to know you a bit. I talk about your story, talk about why you got involved, and then we have all those testimonials, guys. We have so many testimonials in our AWOL Power Players group of all these people that have got amazing results, and all of those things are another thing that you can be sending out to your list. Like, hey, look at Jean Horn, look at the results that she got. Look at Brian Williams. He went on and did, what was it, $10,000 in his first 45 days. Check that out. See what he has to say. Check out what Jenny Jordan made, $20,000 in a 3-week period. See what she has to say. All these different testimonials can be something that you send out as well. And a lot of you guys will come, and you guys were kind of saying, like, well, what do I do when I don't have results? You know what I mean? Like, you can share your story about you've made money, but I don't have that. And you know what? We all didn't start in that position. I know Brian didn't. I know I didn't. I didn't start off making a ton of money. I had to leverage other people's results to get there. Sure, I didn't have the results, but I could leverage actually Dakota, for those of you that know him, or leverage Cam's result, or leverage JR's result, leverage someone else's result, because honestly, all they want to do is to see that it works and see that people are succeeding, right? When they see the results, they're just going to associate that success with you. Anyways, and then as you start to leverage that more and more and leverage other people's results, you start to gain results for yourself, which then allows you to go out and leverage your results then later on. And I think too, what we're going to be able to do is, we know that a lot of people out there online have no idea how to generate leads. They have no idea how to convert sales. They don't have high converting sales funnels. They don't have high quality traffic. So when you're going out and you generate, once this traffic starts rolling out, and you generate 50 leads or 40 leads or 20 leads, whatever it is, whatever result that you get, and you take that result, take a screenshot of it in your autoresponder, send it out to your list, and go, hey, look at this, I just started. Even especially for you guys that just started, right, that don't have the results yet. Because you come out and you go, hey, you know what? I just started. You know why I got into this? I got into this because I'm working a job that I don't really like. You know, I'm doing some things. I want to spend more time with my family. I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to do all these things. But I wasn't able to do that with my current situation. And with the job that I was in right now, this wasn't something that I could make a reality. And so I knew that if I wanted to have my results change and have my life change, I needed to change. And I locked in. I got plugged in with these simple systems, blah, 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 different things that we're doing. And look what I did. I just ran my first solo ad now, and I got 30 leads, or I got 50 leads, or I got 100 leads, whatever it is, and go show that. Like, I literally had no idea what I was doing before this. This is the first time I've ever run traffic, and look at this. Look at the results that I've got. And this is exactly what I can teach you how to do. I know that most people don't know how to do anything like this. Most people don't know how to generate leads. Well, I generated 50 leads today, and if I hadn't do it once, I can do it twice. I can do it the next day, and I can do it the next day, and I can do that every single day moving forward. Sorry, guys. Every single day moving forward, because now I know how to do that. And a lot of you guys don't even know, like for some of you, just to kind of realize this, just to kind of put this into perspective, we all started in what was kind of like a really big grind phase, and it was more manual. You know what I mean? We were going out, we were making a list of people that we knew with a good work ethic, network marketing contacts, leaders, whoever we wanted to reach out to, that we want to work with. And so you guys all know how kind of difficult that was, or how much more work that was, I should say, to go out and generate those leads by going out and having Facebook conversations, or going on the phone and talking to friends and family, or whatever it was. And that was very strategic in why we did that, right? Because we wanted to be able to have you put that into perspective, because you can kind of see what it's like to do that all manually, right? Now imagine what it would be like. Imagine trying to go and speak to 100 people in a day and get 100 leads. Imagine trying to do that manually. It's difficult. It is. There's a lot of work. You have to talk to a lot of people. You can get a lot of wasted time going out and doing that. Or we can simply do exactly what we're doing now with this traffic co-op, where we have a high converting funnel. We can click a button to get whatever amount of traffic that we want, and boom, we have 50 leads. We have 100 leads. I just did, I think, 207 leads on my last package in one day, and then there were some the next day too. And that's honestly, like, imagine trying to talk to 207 people in a day. You know, Ryan, like, how difficult would that be if you went out and tried to do that?
Yeah, they're actually looking for you.
Exactly, right? This is the thing, and it's not about now where instead of being the hunter, right, and going out and hunting, you've now become the hunted. People are hunting you down that want to join your business, that are interested in what you have to offer, and you're speaking to a completely different level of prospect. You didn't coerce them, or you didn't convince them to come and look at your information. These people actively looked on their own for what you have to offer, and they're interested in what you're selling, and it's a lot easier to go out and do that. I mean, you guys saw that I did a 500-click solo, and I'm going to buy another one here too. I did a 500-click. My first phone call did a PPA. I mean, I have a bunch of other calls set up for this week through that, which is probably going to do even more than that. And we're going to get a lot in depth. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm doing with that. But the thing that we're doing right now, and I'm so grateful that all you guys kind of started, because you need to start somewhere, right? You need to start with the team-built funnel, right? This is going to be the beginning. So you start getting some leads in, right? We know it converts. We know, you know, when you're buying traffic to it, you're going to get some leads in. You're going to have a list to be able to mail. You're going to have applications that are going to get filled. We know that, right? And then as we start moving forward, and we have like the beta group that KL is running, where it can teach you how to build out a funnel even more in depth. And in there, we're going to show you exactly what we're all doing to even get it even better. But what we need to do is start at the beginning, right? Because this is easy. The funnel's done for you, right? The traffic's done for you. All we need to do is work on the follow-ups and stuff like that. And then as we move forward, now when you have this funnel running that you know is generating leads, now on the side, you can be slowly starting to build out your own funnel to beat the conversions that you're getting over here, right? Rather than trying to build one without having anything over here, you're trying to build one on your own, so you have nothing coming in while you're building this. So that's exactly why we have this. So you have your team funnel, you got leads coming in, you got applications coming in, and then on the side you can be working on your own funnel to beat those conversions to get even better results, which is exactly what the beta group is going to be doing, exactly what some of the training I'm going to be doing moving forward, and it's just going to get easier and easier as we roll through with this. One thing I want to know, I'm just going to roll back into the group here. What I know a lot of you guys were saying we wanted to do like a Q&A, some sort of Q&A. I'm just in the group here right now. What kind of is there any questions that you guys have with as far as maybe like writing emails, or as far as maybe pre-qualifying people on the phone, or any questions you have at all that you want me to answer? Let me know in the comment section in the group.
And I got something real quick, Matt. Just because I've been a little off the grid this week, and I want to make sure that I know this going forward. Because I didn't really run traffic this week because I knew I was going to be coming off vacation. I wanted to be there for my team, so I had just a concern as well, as I see a lot of the communication on the main page. Did the glitches get fixed? Is there a campaign code we should be using now, or is the same campaign code with emails? Is that all figured out, or what should we do now? Is there a little strategy to make everything correct, or is everything already correct with the funnels and the email follow-ups?
The email follow-up, well, all of you guys that should have watched the Hangout on Thursday, and you guys would all know what's going on with that, were there. And so basically what happened is, if you've already uploaded your autoresponders, it's already loaded that information. And so Kayla went into showing you what were the parts that you needed to change. So you guys all should have watched that. And this is a big thing that we need to stress, is that you guys are here on Mondays. You guys are here on Thursdays. You guys know what's going on moving forward, so you know what to change. So with those follow-ups, we knew in the first email there was a picture at the bottom. That picture was sent to a different funnel of someone else's. So what we needed to do is go into that first email and change the links. And what we're needing to do for all our emails moving forward, and this is something that we should do always, no matter what, whenever you're using pre-written follow-up sequence that isn't yours, that is someone else's, whenever you put it in, you need to be going through every single one of those emails. Every single one of them, send tests to yourself in GetResponse and in Aweber, whatever you're using. You can go through each email and you can send a test, and you need to be checking all those links. If they don't work, you need to go back in there and change them. Right, very, very easy to change them. Kayla showed it in the webinar there, where you're just basically going into editing the email. You're just highlighting whatever part's being highlighted, and you're clicking link and sending it to the page with the application and the Hangout. We don't want to be sending it to Kayla's video with the button, the pre-frame, because they've already seen that through the funnel. What we want to be doing is sending them directly to the application, so they're going straight to the Hangout every time. That's where we're going to be sending them. Okay. Also, too, what I want you guys to be able to do too is go through those emails, and in your signature, put your Facebook link. Put something, maybe even put a PS note where you're like, hey, PS, what's going on in your life right now that has you wanting to learn how to earn an income online? Shoot me a message on Facebook and let me know. So as far as that, Brian, like people, for those pre-written emails, it was manually going in. I know the first email had a picture that was sent out to something else, and it was just going in, changing that link. But it's something where we need to be going through. There's going to be more email follow-ups moving forward, but another thing I wanted to address too with that is that these email follow-ups are literally just a base, right? They're coming in so that for the people that don't know how to write emails, or the people that don't know how to do any of that, they have some emails that are coming and following up. But what you guys want to be able to do, and this is something you guys can do really easily, if you guys just create, that's what I do. I created a separate email where all I do is I opt into other people's lists, right? So I'll opt into Brian's list, or I'll opt into Kiala's list, or I'll opt into Cam's or Tony Rush or whoever's list. And so I have one email where all I do is just get business emails like that. And the reason why we do that is so you can look through and see how people are writing their copy, right? You'll notice that even looking through Kiala's emails, see how they're writing those, because the more we can get into the point where you're writing it and it's coming from the heart, right? You're just writing how you naturally speak. You're really being yourself, because that's what's attractive to people. They don't want to know. They want you to be yourself. And the thing is it becomes so much easier when you're writing an email, when you're not trying to pretend to be all professional and businesslike and writing things all perfectly, but you're just writing it how I talk, right? How do you?
I think that's an awesome thing that you said right there, because that's what I do as well. And you know, if you look at like Kayala was saying, you know, the gurus that make these, you know, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 months, they have these lists, and it was really cool what he said. They don't have lists of 100,000; they have lists of 20,000, because they're always cleaning them and they always build these relationships. So just imagine, guys, just have a pool of the people that you like, or maybe on your, some on your team, but marketers that you really like or aspire to be like, opt into their list. Go on the internet and just opt. If you see a badass funnel or an opt-in page, opt into it. Have that one particular email. That way you get 5, 10, 20 emails a day from marketers that are making a lot of money. Hopefully they are. I mean, hopefully you're picking some really good marketers, so you can literally open those emails and get some ideas. And if something touches your heart or just kind of like makes you want to click, there you go. That's your base. You know what I mean? You can copy them. Then you can swipe their email and then just put a paragraph in there, change some words, change the links around, and then eventually you'll get to the point where you're just writing your own copy out of habit, because you know how it's supposed to flow. You know what made you click. You know what making other people click. So yeah, I think that's an amazing resource. Is try to opt in as many people as you can. There are respectable marketers out there, so you can get some good ideas for sure.
Exactly, and just like Brian's saying, you want to find out like what made you click. Like, read it in the eyes of a customer or a consumer that's going through and reading it. Does it make you click? You're going to see a bunch of emails, and not all of them will, but you'll find a few in there where you're like, wow, I got to find out what this is, right? And just knowing, okay, well, that made me click. It's probably going to make a lot of other people click. And then taking little bits and pieces like that, and knowing different little tricks too. And it's like some a little thing too when you're writing an email. Like if you're trying to get someone to read through, you'll notice a lot of people that are using like hypnotic language patterns, where you're throwing in embedded commands, where you're saying, hey, what's going on? It's Matthew Jang here. And as you read to the end of this email, you're going to see exactly how I've been leveraging the internet to earn multiple 5 figures online. Right, and what I said there is, as you watch to the end of this email, or read to the end of this email, sorry, right? So what that does is that allows the person, it assumes that they're going to read it to the end, and then you're having a command that's read to the end of this email, right? So you could be like, as you read and pay very close attention to every single word in this email, you're going to see exactly how blah, 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 blah. You see what I mean? And what that does, and that's just the same as when you're shooting a video, right? As you watch to the end of this video, you're going to see the right? And it's embedding those commands. And same thing when you're wanting them to click, and then you're like assuming that they're going to go out and do it. And you want to have
Matt,
pardon?
Matt, you have Susan. Susan's asking us. She opted into her email but didn't get an email yet. Is that because maybe she hasn't gone in there and changed that opt-in list, the autoresponder list?
What that will be then is what I would do, if you haven't got an email at all, it means that you haven't set up something properly. So it could be a couple things here. What it could be is that either you didn't load the messages that come up. You know how Kayla has those campaign codes. That could be it. So you couldn't have maybe you didn't load all of those up. There's a couple different settings. So what I would do is if you go into the Project AWOL site, and that video where Kayla walks you through that process, I would double check everything and go through that, because there is a couple little steps, and you need to make sure, like when you make changes in GetResponse, that you come and save it in the Project AWOL site. Same vice versa. When you make changes, you're making sure that you're updating, because I noticed a lot of people too. What happened was that it was saying their list was what was it? It was saying the list wasn't there or something. That was actually a question I had someone ask me earlier. That they opted in, but it brought them to a page where their list wasn't there. And that the reason being was because when they created their list in GetResponse, they didn't take the list name and go back into AWOL and upload it into there, right? So that it was active, right? You need to make sure, like, it's just going through, and sometimes, and I'm guilty of this too, sometimes you go through and try to move a little bit faster than you need to, and you skip a step, or you forget one little step, right? And so what will happen too is that as you start to do this, Susan, you'll notice that you'll make that little mistake there, but that's fine. Like, not to be too worried about it. Just go through it again, find out where that mistake was, right? And then when you come back the next time, you're not going to make that mistake again, because now that's going to be in my mind. Okay, I need to make sure I remember that part. That is going to come up a few times, and I mean, even when I'm building my own funnels, I'll go through that sometimes too, where it's like, oh crap, I forgot to save over there, and it's just like being able to go back through, trace your steps where you went, and then you go, oh shoot, I forgot to save it. I forgot to do this part. Right, so go back. I would definitely go back through the training, and then send me a personal message, Susan, if that doesn't work out, because we'll get that worked out for you. So we have that. So you're going to be able to roll. get some emails rolling out by the time traffic rolls in the next 2 days. But it should be something really, really simple. Usually the time when it's saying your form is invalid or when it's saying you're not getting an email, it's usually just one simple little step that you just missed in there, and Kayla covers everything really good there. So if you just go back through the steps, you should be able to find it. If not, again, shoot me a message, and I'll help you out with that for sure.
Yeah, and I like to open several screens. Like, have like 5 tabs open, and like 3 of them are the AWOL tabs, right? They're on the same page. And then I'm listening to Kayla's, and I'm pausing it, and I'm checking on my Git. Like, I have like 2 or 3 tabs of Git response, right, in the particular screens that I'm working. So all you got to do is just kind of click on each tab, and you get through it really, really quickly. Because if you have just 2 tabs open, sometimes it takes a while, then you miss things. So if you want to work a little faster on, just keep that Kayla video playing. Pause it once he starts getting ahead of you, and then take care of the little, segment that he wanted you to do. Then go back and unpause it. But then you have all these tabs open that you can just kind of go back and forth really quickly. So that just helps me take care of things a little faster sometimes.
Yeah, Brian, actually, exactly. And that was actually something I was showing my buddy Tyler. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll watch the training video that Kayla walks them through, but they'll watch the entire video, and then after they watch it, they'll go and try to do it. And that's kind of what he was trying to do there, was that he would watch the entire video, and then he's like, crap, what do I do at this part? Right? What do I do there? And what you basically got to do is, just as Brian was saying, right? Watch a little part where it's like, okay, do this, and then pause. And just go do that one little part. And then come back and press play again. Okay, now do this, and then pause, and then go back. And it's just taking it one step at a time, and that's what I do. Whenever I'm going through a training, when I'm walking through something, I'll do a little bit and pause, and just do it in chunks, and just keep going through. And like Brian says, if you need to have more windows open so it's easily more accessible, you have a page here, here, and here you can just jump to, go and do that. If that's what helps you become more productive, that's definitely something I would go out and do for sure. Won't be able to make it. Okay. Is there Tammy saying, hey, Matt? What's up, Tammy? Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to say, too, is when we get these new teammates in, guys, I mean, literally, as Matt's saying, in the next 3 days, you're going to be making some phone calls. Like at the end of the 3 days from now, you're going to be pre-qualifying people. So let those people know right away exactly what we're doing. You guys have the AWOL call on Thursday. Me and Matt are going to hang out with you for 20 or 30 minutes every Monday just to give you some pertinent information. This isn't like Cameron's obviously extremely good at what he does, so we're going to leave that to the professionals on Thursday for a nice, big, long training, but we're going to make sure that we're feeling the pulse of the team on Monday nights. So when you're talking to people, if they have a little bit of anxiety about, get into a business or network marketing or something like that, just let them know, hey, there's so much support. Like, it's ridiculous, and they're gonna be able to do the same thing you're doing, which means, like, the reason why they clicked and they're on the phone with you, that's the skill that they're gonna learn, right? So, it's really cool to put. The more questions you ask, the more in control of the conversation you are. And it's really cool to say, well, obviously you clicked on a sales funnel, right, or an opt-in page, and you gave your email, and then you saw the video, and you like what you saw, and now we're talking, right? Don't you think that can be a profitable skill to learn, right? Something like that, and they'll be like, oh, of course, yeah. Well, that's what we do. We teach that. We have support all week for building your own funnels, or you can leverage ours if you really want to dive in and spend a lot of time on it. You can just leverage ours. Simple things like that just take those walls down, guys. So it lets them know that, oh, wow, this isn't going to be such an uphill climb. I'm going to be able to come in here and really, really leverage some really knowledgeable people and have some support. So just think about that in the back of your head, too, because like when you get a PPA or a TM, like, hey, what's up? I want you to meet so-and-so. Brian, I want you to meet so-and-so. Hey, welcome him to, right? And then it's on. Bring him on the Monday calls. Bring him on the Thursday calls, because we want to love on them a little bit and let them know that, hey, guys, let's build a huge business. We're here for you, that kind of thing. And as soon as people know that, they're going to open up and they're going to start to get results because they're not scared. They know that they can ask questions. They know they can get results, and they know that they're around people that have also been successful.
Yeah, definitely. And you touched on something right there that was really, really good. How you're saying, like, just like you're clicking this, you're reading this email and you're doing this, because when you show them kind of the process, and I do this sometimes in videos, I do this in emails too, and this is something that's very, very powerful to be able to do, because you can go through and be like, you know what, I remember before. I remember I was at a point in my life where, you know, this is just my personal story. I was at a point in my life where I didn't like the way I was going. I failed at pretty much everything I did. I was making $10 an hour working at a butcher shop. But then I came to a video just like this, right? I came to a video just like this, where actually, you know what, I ended up checking my email, and I was reading through, and I could tell that this was something that I wanted to partner up with. I could tell that the person that was there, it was my current mentor now that was $30,000 in debt, and he showed me how he was going and making 5 figures a month, and that was something that I wanted to achieve. So I clicked that link, I ended up putting my email in, and it brought me to a video just like this. And they're like, hey, wait a second, I just got an email, and I clicked the link, and I'm at the video. You know what I mean? And they're like, hi, what? That's exactly what happened to me. You see? And it's like they're reading my mind. How did they do that? And then you can go through, and this is a thing that you can get fun with too, because how do you want people to portray you? Do you want people to portray you as someone that is a leader, someone that is, you know, honest, trustworthy? Like what another thing you can do is, you know, I got to this video where my current mentor was talking, or I was reading this email where my mentor was saying, and he was explaining all these things, and I could tell that he was someone that was trustworthy. He was someone that had the results that I wanted. He was someone that was honest, and someone that I really wanted to work with. And so what that's doing is, by you kind of saying that, they're going to automatically associate that with you. I'm saying that about my mentor, right? And now they're coming here and they're going to go, well, hey, he seems trustworthy. He seems like he has the results that I want to achieve. He seems like he's a leader and someone that I want to work with. You know what I mean? And you can start to do things like that. So in your emails, this is a fun thing that you can kind of play with. You can kind of go like that, where it's like, you know, speak to like why you got in. You know what I mean? Like I remember when I first started, and I was working at a job that I didn't really like, or I was, you know, not being able to spend much time with my family, and I knew I needed a better solution. And I actually, funny enough, I came across an email in my inbox, and as I read through the entire email, see what I mean? Another embedded command. As I read through the entire email, I started to see that this was some person that they were. You can use anybody's story. So say it's Cam's story. It's like this person was $30,000 in debt, and then they came out and they're earning 5 figures a month online, and that was something that I wanted to accomplish. I wanted to be able to go and achieve those results for myself. And so I didn't even think twice. I clicked the button below. I put in my information. I got to the video, and I got locked in, right? And because when you go and tell someone, like, click the button below, put in your information, get locked in, when you're telling it directly to them, sometimes they can put up that block. Right? They can put up a block, always trying to sell me something, or always trying to do this, right? Whereas if you go and you're telling a story about how you did that, right? How you clicked the button below and you put in your information and you locked in, you filled out the application, whatever you're wanting them to do. But now it's not me directly saying, hey, Brian, do this. It's like, hey, Brian, I remember when I went and did this, 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 and this, and this. And now, whether or not I'm saying it to you directly or not, you're still taking it on your subconscious as click the button below, put in your information, and fill out the application. You're still taking that directly, whether I'm speaking to you or whether I'm telling a story about how I said that to somebody else. We're going to get a lot more in-depth about stuff like that into your emails, but it's all going to be about just kind of like being yourself. Like Brian's saying, like as you start to go through and get all these email follow-ups from all these other leaders and start to kind of see how they're talking. You know what I mean? Start to see if there's any embedded commands. Either they're telling you to click a link or fill out an application or buy this product or whatever it may be, throwing those things in there, but then just letting it be natural, right? And just it's all going to come from just testing, right? Don't be afraid of making mistakes, because the thing is that there's really no failure. It's only feedback. You're going to write an email and maybe your open rate wasn't that great, right? This is another thing too that I kind of wanted to touch on. Your open rate is going to be a direct result of your headline, okay? For your headline in your emails, and you can look through and see the ones that Kiala wrote, see like the headlines that he wrote, and see the headlines that other people wrote. That's your first goal, is getting people just to open. That's your first goal, right? So having your headline where it's like, and this is the thing, it's where you can really play around with this and have fun. Like I actually did an email another day, and some of you might be on my list, but my headline was, for those of you that have seen Borat, it was like wow wow wee wow, and it said like insert Borat voice or something like that. and it's weird, right? But that's the thing, is like making it seem odd, making it seem weird, because you know everyone else is like, buy this craziest product in the world, all this stuff. They're trying to sell you on something. So when they see something that's like, wow, they're like, what is that? I got to click that and find out what it is. Or actually, we had in the master's course, and this is funny, and some of you guys might not want to do this, but I've tested it, and it does work. But using poop in your subject line. And now this sounds crazy, right? But what happens is people are looking through their subject lines and all these serious people trying to sell them stuff, and then all of a sudden they see something with poop or something weird like that. You know what I mean? And it's like being completely unorthodox and completely out there, where it's like, hey, what is that? You're like, kind of like, it's a total pattern interrupt, or like, what is going on? Now they have to open it, right? And then you can explain later and be like, hey, isn't that hilarious how I threw in the word poop and it made you open this email? See, that's kind of funny, and I like to play around with that, and I like to have fun. You know, I like to have fun with my marketing, and then you can kind of go into your message later on. And then so once you kind of get that down and you get your opens, like that's going to be your main first goal, is getting a headline that captures their attention. That's maybe a little bit weird. Maybe it's asking a question with a question mark. Maybe it has ellipses and it has the ... on the end. We know having a ... or having a question mark, we know those work really well, and those open very well too. I think I saw Susan. Did Susan post a question there? I think I just saw her thing pop up. It's so funny though, like when you start doing like that, I actually did that and tested it with poop, and it sounds ridiculous and it sounds unprofessional or whatever it is, but guess what? It works, because it's a total pattern interrupt. People are like, why the heck are they talking about that? And they open it, and then they see what the heck you're talking about. Like, what is going on? Okay, so could you post any really good funnels like you're talking about we could subscribe to? One for sure I would go maybe Tony Rush. Now I don't personally like. I'm not going to say anything bad about anyone. Tony Rush isn't someone that I would, maybe go out to dinner with, but he's a great email copywriter. He's a great email copywriter. So if you go, I just put Tony Rush Google, but if you Google Tony Rush's name, I like Googling different leaders' names, right? Finding one of like Tony Rush is very good for emails, but really there's so many people, and they don't have to directly be in Doobly, right? They don't have to be in Doobly. You could be going into Empower Network, where they're really good at marketing, and you could look up Lawrence Tam, right? Lawrence Tam has great emails as well. He's really, really good at copywriting. Looking up Kayala, getting on one of Kayala's lists, another really good copywriter. There's a lot of different people. What you can do is really look up top leaders in WooCar, or top leaders in Doobly, or top leaders in Power Network, or top leaders in any type of internet marketing. You can find who they are and just find one of their funnels and opt in. Like, that's how I would just find when I was in.
And also too, guys, just try something. I mean, definitely get like half a dozen or even a dozen really cool marketers, and then go get some like random people. Like just go to Facebook and click on one of those ads that's run on the sideline, and it's kind of like a spammy ad, and then you can you see what doesn't work. What doesn't make you want to click, what kind of turns you off, right? And then you know what to stay away from as well. So you get the best of both worlds. So don't be afraid to just like pick a random one and then opt in, just to give you a little bit more of a, just a base of action on what not to do.
Yeah,
I like those as well. I'm like this guy's stupid. I'd never write anything like that. And then now I know that that's how I feel. Like if I was to go out there and write something like that, that's how someone else would feel about me. So I want to stay away from that.
Yeah. So it's definitely, that's something that's really good too. And exactly like Brian's saying, if you read something and you're like, man, I would never click. Well, see how that was written. See what was it that made you not want to click it, and know that well, if it made me not want to click, it's probably going to make everyone else not want to click either. And it's the same thing when you're reading ones that make you want to click. And this is something where you want to make a separate email address, because if you're opting in to 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 email funnels, you're going to be getting a ton of emails with that. And you want to be able to have it so it's just like, okay, when I log into this email, I just know I have a wealth of email copy. That's all it is. All it is just email copy. The only reason I have it is just to look through that to see what's good copy, what isn't, how people are writing it. another thing too is like you can be, quite vague to a point too, where you're like expressing that curiosity, where you're like super excited about something and you can't wait to check this out, and the only way that they're going to see it is if they check this. Be like, you know what? And this is especially you're sending them to an application. Be like, you can be talking about your story a bit and how you kind of got involved, and then leading into it and be like, you know what? And I got introduced to this underground hangout that no one has had access to. And honestly, I'm not even really supposed to be showing this to anyone, but just for you, you're gonna get exclusive access to this when you click here right now, and then going through, and it's right, and then you're sending them over to something where you don't have to be like, you don't have to explain too much in an email too, right? You don't want to be breaking down too many of the details, especially like with the hangout and stuff like that. Like the reason, just like when we were speaking with people in person, you're being kind of vague and ambiguous. You're not going to go into Doobly and how it all works, or WooCommerce and how it works, or like everything in the presentation. It's going to be kind of vague and ambiguous, like you'll see in KL's messages and stuff like that. My computer here. You want to jump on here for a sec? I got to grab a charger here, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah, so guys, with the email follow-ups and everything else, you want to get people to the actual presentation, but you want to be fun. You want to be conversational, just like you're talking to someone. Don't make it all salesy and like that. But what I would do is stick with Kayalas right now, and opt into a bunch of people's emails, because you really want to see how, when you do it, when it's your time to shine, how to do it. And if you look at Kayalas, one thing that I do notice is that he puts a lot of time and effort into it. It takes him a good hour, maybe even 2 or 3 sometimes, to write the really good copies. And he just does that. When he does a project, you can tell he's a quality guy, and that's why it's paying off for him financially, is that when he sees a project, he really jumps into it, and he locks the door, and he might spend 8 hours or 10 hours writing 3 or 5 emails. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I've learned from Matt. What's up?
Sorry, he actually doesn't. He doesn't take that much. He actually gets to the point. I've actually been watching him while he's here, where once you get in the habit of doing it, like at first it might take you a while, but it ends up getting really quick, because it ends up being where you're writing as you speak. You know what I mean? You're not having to like go too much into it and put it. You can write as you speak, and then you can put it in commands in after, and it will take a little bit at first. It will take the hour maybe at first to do it, but it does. He does go really into detail, like you're saying, and he does really take his time with it, and it is something that you really want to be consciously aware of what you're putting in. What is your goal of this email? Is it to get them to fill an application? Is it to get them to add you on Facebook? What is the goal of that? You know what I mean? And it comes through, and just like you, Brian, like I've noticed you writing a lot of your emails lately, where it's just like you're writing how you talk. You know what I mean? And like that's personal. I know, like I feel like you're talking to me. You're not just being a salesperson trying to sell me something. You're speaking like a normal human being, which is what I like, which is what most people like. They want to know you're real. You're not just trying to sell them something, and you're a real person on the other end of that computer.
Yeah, and if when you just start giving people like facts after facts after facts, that's just like, okay, look at this vacuum. It comes apart 10 different ways, and it has a battery pack on it and all this stuff. You don't want to give them some information, because now they know everything about the vacuum. Why are they going to click, right? So just keep it vague. Keep it a little bit like you kind of know what I'm talking about, but you don't have any idea until you click here. You know what I mean? That's where you want to keep it. But take your time, guys. You don't really have to go out there and do a 15 email follow-up right now. You can just stay grounded, stay focused. If you want to start writing your follow-ups now, absolutely do it. But you have clicks running, you got Kayalas, and then you're going to go out and do some research. So yeah, when you have a half an hour, just start to develop some emails that you can leverage later on. But right now we got everything we need to do. I would just concentrate on getting into the mindset where you're going to call someone, pre-qualify them. It's not going to take more than 10 minutes. Maybe you want to stay about 5 minutes, right? You don't want to be on the phone very long, because it's just a pre-qual. It's not an actual interview, because we're going to be taking 45 minutes out of our day to have a really in-depth conversation with them. So we don't want to make it seem like it's a lot of work. Plus, you end up saying way too much if you're on the phone with them, right? So ask the very simple questions. If you need to make someone feel comfortable, just like Matt said, talk about yourself. Tell a story about yourself that got you to this point. Short and to the point. the reasons why you like being a part of the group, why you love this business opportunity, and just keep it at that. Keep the conversation rolling, and realize this. Separate yourself from like some people are like, oh, this is my lead, this is my guy. I gotta have to close them. I have to make sure. I hope Matt closes them. I hope Brian gets on the phone and closes them. Separate yourself from that. You know what I mean? This is just your job. Like you're literally punching the clock. You're picking up a piece of paper and you're saying, okay, in order to get my $1 an hour or $20 an hour, I'm going to have to just do my job. I'm going to pick up the phone, ask this guy 3 questions, be very polite, and then I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again, I'm going to do it again. And that's how you just move forward. Don't have any anxiety about it, right? A lot of these, I don't want to say a lot, but some of these people are not going to want to come in right away regardless, right? So just know that but you're going to set them up. You're going to set the tone. So maybe they're not ready to buy that day, or maybe even they're not going to buy with me and Matt on the phone. Hopefully 90% of them will, but they'll still be in your email list. They're going to be looking at what you're doing, right? And you don't have to get all anxious about it. It's just the process, right? You're just the first part of a process, and that's it. Just make it short and sweet, and then we'll get us. Hopefully, we'll get on the phone the next 24 or 48 hours while it's still fresh. We'll get on there. We'll close them up, but just nice and smooth. Try not to get it longer than 10 minutes, because that's really the less you're on the phone with them and the more really like just nice and welcoming you are. It's just going to be like, it's going to set the tone, right? It's going to set the tone. Be like, oh, I really talked to Susie the other day when she called me for a screen on that interview. She's such a nice person. Wow, I mean, that was a really cool conversation, right? I can't wait to talk to Matt. I can't wait to talk to Brian, right? So if they're in that kind of mind frame, then it's like you're gold,
Exactly, and this is going to be something, and it's going to take a while to learn the skill set and learn how to do it. And the thing is, like, everything that we're doing is just practice, is to get feedback, is to get a little bit better. And you might find that when you talk a certain way, or like as you start to talk more and more and more, you're going to get more comfortable. Your energy is going to come out more. You're going to get a lot more enthusiastic, and then that's a lot more attracted to people, right? You're going to attract more people than to get them excited, get them pumped up. And the thing is like, even if you want to keep it under 10 minutes, in the beginning of the call, you can even say, like, hey, we have a lot of people to follow up with today. We're only going to have 10 minutes here. But there actually is a really exclusive deal. And I kind of wrote out a little script in the traffic and conversions group for those of you that are in the co-op. But I wrote a little script in there where it's like, I'm actually really excited because you know what, Brian or Eric or Matthew, they actually scheduled out some time in their schedules where they're going to actually be taking in some people and coaching them on a process and mapping out an exact game plan custom to them to get them from where they want to be as fast as possible. But the first thing I need to do is, in order to get you there, because I know they're really, really busy, they don't have time to be talking to everyone, but what we're going to do is if I ask you a series of questions, and based on your answers there, I can see if I can book you in on that call, because they're not going to be talking to everyone. Do you have time for me to ask you a couple questions? And so now, before they even get on, they're like, okay, this has to be quick. It's going to be less than 10 minutes. There's an exclusive deal here where I get to talk to their mentor, either Brian or Eric or Matthew, whoever it is that you're sending them to. So they're like, okay, well, I need to impress this person now. I want to get on this call because they're not talking to everyone. And now when you go into the questions, and it's just like, based off that after, and then, I mean, myself, Brian, Eric, we all have VCTA. For those of you guys, you should see that in the group in the file section where all of you can just schedule in the call. You literally have our schedule, and it'll show what calls are available, right? Okay, Brian's got a 2 o'clock, a 4 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock. Okay, well, there's a 2, a 4, and a 7 o'clock today. What one works best for you? And you book them in with there. And then, boom, we get a notification right away. You don't even really have to tell us. All you got to do is send us over the form that you filled out. And thank Bridie again. Those of you that haven't already, thank Bridie for going out of her way and setting that up for us, because she put up the questions and stuff like that, and she put up the document with the questions. So you can literally take that document, guys, and it has all the questions there, and you can write down all the person's answers and save it, and then send that over to us. And that works out extremely well. The one thing I really, really want to get down, okay? All of you guys are just starting, and for me or for Brian or for Eric, like, we know when we run traffic, we know when we get on the phone, we know that we're getting results. We know that we're going to, because we're so confident. We've done it so much. We've learned so many things. We know that we're going to do it. I know when I pick up the phone with one of my own leads and I have a form on them, and I know that either they're going to come in or they're going to save up money to come in, right? I know that beforehand. Now, what happens is when you guys are first starting, when you guys don't have the results yet, right? You guys have a lot of there's a learning phase to go through, right? We have to be learning how to broadcast our list and email properly to get them to both open our email and click the email and do what they want, we want them to do. Right now, that's going to take a little bit of time to learn how to go and do that. But the thing is like every email that you send out is practice. The more emails you send out, the more emails that you write, the more phone calls you get on, the more everything that you do is just going to get you better and better and better as we move forward, and it's just going to make it easier. And the reason why Brian, myself, Eric, everyone here, the reason why that we're having so much success is that we've failed at things. I wrote crappy emails that sucked. I've got on the phone and blew sales. I've failed more times than most people have even tried, right? And I want you guys to get that, because I knew that the only way for me to fail was if I give up, right? And so when we're going through and doing this, it doesn't matter. Like if you get leads, I know if I buy traffic and all I got was leads and I didn't even get a sale on the front end, that's a win for me, because that means my list is getting bigger. And regardless to whether they sign up now or a week later or a month later or 6 months or a year or 3 years later. Cameron just had a guy that signed up 3 years after he's been on his list because Cam was consistent and he kept going through and mailing his list every single day, going through, and someone that wasn't even buying something 3 years later came and bought because they were consistent. And that's the thing. When you guys are going out and you guys are consistently growing, you're consistently writing your emails, you're consistently buying traffic, you're consistently getting on the phone with applications and improving your voice, you're consistently going through courses like the Straight Line Persuasion to get better with speaking and taking people towards a sale. When you're consistently taking action, moving forward towards your goal, you cannot help but succeed, whether it takes a month, whether it takes a few months. You know, for me, when I first got started in my first business, I didn't have anything like this. I had to build my own funnels, and I had no idea what converted. I had to do all my own traffic. I didn't have click button traffic, and it took me, heck, 5.5 months spending money on traffic every single day, building a list, trying to build the audience with that list in order to get my first sale. You know what? But it didn't matter. I got my first sale where I had spent like $2,000. Me and Cal just had we were talking to like 6 a.m. the other day, and we started getting into this. This is one thing I really wanted to kind of share with you guys, because we both had kind of the same situation where when I first started, and this is something that you guys really will never have to go through, but I want you guys to see the mindset that we have to understand why we create the success that we do, right? Because we went out, and Kayala said that he went and he was spending his first sale, costed him around $6,000 spending on traffic to get a $25 sale. And you know what happened? Most people would have done that. Most people would have spent $6,000 and made $25, and they would have gone, this is awful. This sucks. This doesn't work. I'm not going to make any money. This is awful. I just lost $5,975. Where you know what Kayala said? He goes, I just made a $25 sale. Oh my God, it works. See the difference there? It's totally your perspective, because now that he knew it worked, yeah, he got a really shitty conversion and it cost him a shitload of money, but he got the sale. So if he can get the sale, he can tweak the process to get that cost down. And he did, and he ended up getting the cost down to being around $30 for every $25 sale. And with an upsell process, he knew every sale was worth around $500, and it worked out because he stuck with it, whereas most people would have failed, would have given up there. For myself, I spent $2,000 on Facebook ads and made nothing. Nothing. And now I finally got my first sale. But you know what? I got my first sale, so $2,000 to make a $25 sale. But you know what I thought? I didn't think, oh, this is awful, I lost money. I thought, holy crap, I did it. And the same thing with leads. When you're spending a bunch of money and then you finally get leads, it's like when you understand that and you're like, oh my God, like I can literally click a button and get traffic and have as many leads as I want. As much traffic as I want to buy, I can have that many leads. And then when you know that, and then when you find out, once you get your first, you know, a lot of you guys have sales already. And you know if you can get one in a day, you can get two in a day. You can get four in a day. You can get one every single day, all the way through. If you can do it once, you can do it over and over and over and over. And the thing is just going through the process, because there's a way to do it. I'm doing it. Brian's doing it. Eric's doing it. Kayala's doing it. Cam's doing it. Julian's doing it. Nate's doing it. Jenny's doing it. There's so many people in our group that are doing this and proving that it works. For me, and I was talking with Cam about this too, for me, when I first got started in this, all I needed to see was that one person could do it.
Because if one person could do it, that meant that it was possible, and that meant that there was a way for me to go out and do it. And that was the mindset that you needed to have. Yes, maybe you're gonna go through and you're gonna build a list of leads, and maybe they don't convert into a sale right away. But who cares? You're building a list. That's the most valuable asset you can possibly have. And whether or not they decide to work with you right then, because they're gonna see your progress moving forward. And especially when you're going through and it's like, hey, I generated 50 leads, and you go mail that out to your list. So that person that came on in the beginning, right? They're like, oh, well, this person's right at the beginning, and now, oh, okay, they got 50 leads. Oh, whatever. And then later on, oh man, they got 50 leads again. Oh man, they got 100 leads now. Holy crap! It's 2 months down the road. Now they're getting sales all the time. Okay, I need to get in now because I just watched this person go from nothing to being able to generate leads all the way through, and now getting sales all the way through. And I sat here like a dickhead watching when I could have jumped in and followed through with what they were doing. And they'll feel, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. It's just going off your results. When you get a result, you use that result to get another result. You know what I mean? Whether it's one lead, whether you got your first lead and you go mail your list and you go, I've never done this before, I've never marketed online ever in my life, but I generated my first lead, and you send it out to them. And then the next time it's like, now I generated 5 leads, and you keep going and using each result, and you send it out to your list, which will help you get another result, which you're going to be able to go through and send it out to your list again and get another result. And it's just going to keep cycling through because you're going to keep using those results that you get. That's why you see everyone going through and, oh, I made this much per day, or this person made this much, because you're leveraging your results or other people's results. You can be going through and see the testimonial video of Brian where he made $10,000 in his first 45 days and be like, look at this. Brian came in here. He came in here and plugged into the system and the training that we had in place, and he made $10,000 in his first 45 days. You know what? Don't take it from me. Click the button below and hear it from yourself. You know what I mean? And you can be using all those testimonial videos or other emails you can send out. Now it's getting pretty close to 6 here, guys, and I know that there is a Doobly meeting at 6, I believe, a GoToWebinar. Bridie posted that link. Bridie posted that link in there, so I don't want to be taking too much more time. I want to see if there is any more questions in here quickly that we can answer. A big thing is, like, for follow-ups, you guys don't need to be rewriting your follow-ups just yet because you have Kayala doing this, but you need to be sending out broadcasts. And love the French Django. Yeah, that's good. I just like, and that's another thing too. Honestly, like if whether you're shooting videos or emails, like I'll swear sometimes because I swear naturally, and the reason why I do that is not to be offensive to people, and I don't swear that much, and I try not to too much. But the thing is like you're just being yourself, right? You're not trying to pretend to be someone that you're not. And if you're writing something and you're getting passionate and it makes you swear. Don't try and cover it up and pretend to be someone that you're not. You know what I mean? Let that come out in your emails. For follow-ups, though, we want to be going out, and whether your follow-up every day is like something to add me on Facebook or whatever it is, but you want to be sending out those broadcasts, every day. So you're going to have the 7 follow-ups that go out through Kayala, right? So they got a follow-up every day, but you're also going to be sending a broadcast out from yourself on top of that, because the broadcast is where you can dig deep. Right, and if you didn't watch that training last week, watch that. I don't know if you watched that webinar last week, Brian, but Kayala goes really in depth with, like, say for example, you have 100 people on your list, and you send out a broadcast. 10% of the people opened, 90% didn't, right? And now you send a message just to those 90% that didn't open the email, saying, hey, you didn't open my email. What's going on? Is it something I said? Something I did? Do you hate me? You know what I mean? And then you get them to click. So now, if you get any clicks out of that, you're getting more than what you would have normally got if you just sent out that one broadcast. So we want to be getting into that, whether you're shooting message to add them on Facebook, or whether you're shooting message to maybe share a story of some of the people that had a testimonial video, and you're sharing Brian's story or Jenny's story or your own story, whatever it may be. But you want to be sending out, especially as we start driving traffic. It's going to start here quick. You want to be sending out a broadcast every single day, no matter what. So you want to cut out the time every day, and it doesn't matter if you're doing it in the morning or at nighttime or whatever, but you schedule it for the next day at 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning, right? So you can be doing it at 11 p.m. at night. It doesn't matter if you come home and you're like, well, I work 12 hours a day, and then I got kids' soccer practice, and I got this. Cool. Find 15 minutes any point in time of your day, and then schedule it to go out for the morning the next day. You know what I mean? And then you can follow up and do it. So that doesn't matter what your schedule is like. You always have time to be able to do this. Take the 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it may take to write that email and go out and do it. and you're just being yourself and building that relationship. I'm going to go into a little bit more depth. I know KL is going to go more in depth about writing emails and stuff like that too. It is 6 o'clock right now. I don't want to cut you guys. I want to make sure that for those of you guys that want to be on that Doobly webinar are on it. So as long as we kind of got everyone's questions down for today, I think that'll be good moving forward for now. What I would love too, if there's anything too that you guys want us to touch on for next week, maybe we should start doing that. Anything you guys want us to touch on for next week, put a question in here, or put whatever you want us to touch on for next week in here. Put it in there so that we can see whatever we want to do, whatever we want to do for next week. I'm just reading one more. If follow-up goes out every day, what happens after 7 days? I know these are basic questions, just new. Don't worry about asking questions that are, any question is good. I love getting questions because that means you're doing something. It means you're taking action. What happens after the 7 days so that you know what to do? That's exactly why we're doing broadcasts, and that's exactly where, as you start doing more broadcasts, well, you can write day 8's email. You can write day 9's email. You can write day 10. You can add more emails onto that for the follow-ups, but on top of that, you want to be sending a broadcast every single day. So even at the end of those 7 days, if you didn't write a follow-up, they're still going to get your broadcast because you're writing one every day.
Yeah, guys, this is like emails. This is like, trust me, you can take a college master course on this. Literally, you can learn so much about it. But for right now, just concentrate on, like, every week we'll go hit a different area of the email marketing. But like Matt said, just make it a daily activity that you do is to send one email, whether it's a video blog, whatever. Just try to get in the habit of that. I mean, think about it. We're all trying to make surgical money, right? We're all trying to make lawyer, doctor money. They had to go to school for 12, 15 years to do that, and they had to do things every day, to make that kind of money, to make that kind of commitment. You can do the same in a year, 18 months with what we're doing now, but you just have to make it every single day that you do at least one task and you master that task, and that's marketing through emails and then following up with people. That's literally it. I mean, of course, you might not see results in 3 months, 6 months, but you do that for a year. If you broadcast emails for a year, you grow your list. You've done what 99% of people aren't willing to do. You've done something every day that's enhanced your capabilities of being a professional and marketing through the internet and not having to go through all that schooling and everything. So it's just a really good skill to learn. But I know Matt's kind of a guru at this, and there's so many modules that he can teach you. So let's not get too far down the road. Let's just concentrate on what we have now and leveraging Kayala's emails. And then definitely, if we want to spend 20 minutes on it next week, and then every week spend 20 minutes on emails, we can do that. But like it would take a long time to teach everything that Matt knows and Kayala knows about emails. So right now, just stick with what you know. If you have some really cool emails that you want to go ahead and bang them out, save them, or like Matt was saying, hey, take action, because the more we fail, the more we're going to know, right? So, but don't get too caught up and contradict yourself and all this stuff, because it's a long journey. But if you get into the habit of writing an email a day, you're way ahead of everyone else. You've got the skill set, and you've got the extra determination and the perseverance to do this and make a lot of money. Because that's the one thing that people don't do something every day, and they don't master it before they move on. And they usually get discouraged and they quit. And then they don't make any money. So, and then they're on the blogs talking about network marketing is a scam, right? Because they can't do something simple for 6 months. Exactly. And you know what I mean? So it's awesome, but it's persistence, and just like any wealth book or personal development you've done, it's the mindset and the attitude and the actual. Well, I had a cheat day. I ate three Sundays and I went to 4 birthday parties. But you know what? I told myself before I went to bed with a bellyache that I was going to write one email, right? And then actually taking the time out of that day to go and write that email for 20 minutes and then going to bed. Not allowing yourself to go to bed before you actually do that, because you told yourself you're going to do it and you actually do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. So Brady just said that the Doobly Hangout the webinar did start. It is on GoToWebinar. The link is in the group for those of you that want to check it. Thanks so much, Brian, dude. That was awesome for all your input. I love being able to do that.
Thanks for you guys.
All right. Take care, guys, and we'll see you guys Thursday on AWOL's Power Players Call. We'll see you guys there.
And we'll be closing this week, baby.
Yeah. Awesome, dude.
All right, brother.
Thanks, man.